Hey, welcome back, viewer. I've got some articles here on the murderer of Iryna Zarutska. I got the Washington, what am I saying? I got the New York Post here. And she was killed by, DeCarlos Brown. It says the prosecutors did not object to the requested 180-day delay of Brown's Rule 24 hearing, which was previously scheduled for April 30th. Which will determine whether he is fit to proceed with a potential death penalty trial. He's facing federal charges as well. A judge must now determine whether to accept the report's findings, and the case against him will likely be delayed until his capacity is determined to be restored by the court. In a motion filed by Brown's public defender, claimed the court-required capacity hearing cannot take place with the accused killer in federal custody, and that the court also can't order to have his capacity restored. If a judge agrees Brown is incompetent to stand trial, state law mandates the charges be dismissed. Now, what kind of just system would result in a murderer on camera being allowed to walk because of that nonsense? That's messed up right there. However, if the judge issues the ruling without prejudice, state murder charges could be refiled if he ever regains his capacity to be tried. They'd have to pursue it again. A similar situation happened in the Tar Heel State in 2020 when murder charges were dismissed without prejudice against Buford James Penley after he was determined to be incompetent by multiple psychologists. Under North Carolina law, a defendant is deemed capable to proceed to a trial if they can understand the nature and object of the proceedings, comprehend his or her situation in reference to the proceedings, and assist in his or her defense in a rational and reasonable manner. I've got an article here from the Charlotte Observer that says similar, that under state law, the defendant would need to understand the nature of the charges, comprehend their role in court proceedings, and help their defense in a rational and reasonable manner. That to me seems kind of ridiculous. What matters is the state of mind that the defendant was in when they committed the crime. Why would it matter what state of mind they're in as far as being fit to go to trial? The trial should be able to go forward anyway. Justice should still be allowed to go forward anyway, regardless of his capacity to understand it, to comprehend the court process, or defend himself. A dog being put down does not need to understand the nature of the charges brought against them, the proceedings of the veterinary lethal injection process, or be able to put up a defense, nor the owners in cases where dogs attack people and get put down. It doesn't matter at that point. The rabid dog gets put down, and it shouldn't matter in a situation like this. We have the video of him killing Iryna Zarutska. And he never should have been out. It says at the time of the attack, he was released free on cashless bail. Oh, cashless bail, because requiring bail is oppression for poor people. And so you got to have the cashless bail. You got to get those criminals out sooner. Got to get them walking around. He'd made a written promise to show up for court after placing a bogus 911 call. Well, by golly, he made a promise. The guy who's been arrested 14 times made a promise. Assault, firearms possession, felony robbery, going back to 2007. I guess all those gun laws that the left wants, they want to ban your guns, take them away, and make you a felon. But for people who are actual criminals and will use those things to cause harm and threaten people's lives, oh, we've got them walking free, getting arrested over and over and over and over again and let out. That should piss you off. That should piss off anybody who is on the side of what is good and what is just. Now, I imagine criminals wouldn't be pissed off, or those sympathetic to criminals, those people who can't set aside their bleeding hearts and can't set aside their own affiliations with criminals, perhaps who are their friends and family, who have that fealty to them, that they side with them. There are awful, evil people out there who will side with and defend criminals. This is not grace. This is not grace. This is simply releasing evil back into the world and being a perpetuator of evil. I think the judges who do this kind of thing are simply in league with the criminals. The judges who do this kind of thing are in league with the criminals. They've got their man on the inside. When you've got bleeding heart, liberal, do-gooder judges who think the system that they're a part of is oppressive, and so they're going to let people out and get them out of having to provide bail, they are accomplices in the evil that the criminals do. And they pay no consequence for it. They pay no consequence for it. And that pisses me off. He should have been locked up still, and Iryna Zarutska should still be alive. And the left just can't come to that. Instead, they're offended about a mural. Zarutska, mural takedown. Offended by a mural. What does this say about it? So here's a mural going up. I hadn't seen it before. This is the first time seeing it. I'd only heard about this. What's this say? Artist Ian Guadro, I can't say that, claims city overreach while city officials and LGBTQ community allege the Project Freedom 2025 mural is part of a Musk-funded campaign that uses art to weaponize public space. Wait, art to weaponize public space? Huh. Oh. Huh. So, they're all about the migrants, but when a white immigrant woman from Ukraine gets murdered, well, then the intersectionality comes in. And so on the pedestal, the hierarchy, the homeless, unhoused minority man with schizophrenia obviously has more intersectionality than the white girl in the eyes of the left. I think that's a terrible way to view things, but that is how the left views things. And so they got butthurt, they got upset about the mural. It says Providence Mayor Brett Smiley told WJAR-TV that the intent behind the mural was divisive and misguided and didn't reflect the values of the city that the city aims to promote. That's because liberal blue cities aim to promote values that are like death, violence, sexuality, death. What? Go to any major city, and what are the values of that city? Corruption, defending fraud and illegal aliens and criminals and releasing them back out into the community, and drug use and exploiting the taxpayer. So, I mean, there's a truth in this, and that it doesn't represent their values, because obviously their values side with murderer man rather than victim. That's where the Marxist leftist values are aligned. That's what they aim to promote. They promote more of this as they do cashless bail and release people out through the revolving doors of justice. It shouldn't matter whether he understands the nature, comprehends the role of the proceedings, or can mount a defense or whatever. It shouldn't matter, because when he murdered her, he knew what he was doing. And I'm pretty sure he gloated about it. Talked about killing a white girl. And I think the most progressive form of justice is the one God gave us in the Bible, in which there's life for life. You kill somebody, you murder somebody, your life is forfeit. And the repentant person would own that and ought to own that. So we can pray. Anybody who's a Christian, Jesus-believing person can pray that he comes to repentance. I hope he comes to repentance. I hope there's justice. I would hope for him and anyone that they would find Jesus before they die. But I hope that there is justice. And ultimately, God is the one. God is the judge. And ultimately, justice is through him. And we can pray for the family and the people mourning the loss of Iryna and who are impacted by this. And advocate for criminal justice reforms that actually punish and execute murderous people. Because murdering one should be all it takes to lose your life. to be executed. It shouldn't take 20 years. It shouldn't take 100 appeals. It shouldn't take millions of dollars. When there is strong, powerful evidence that makes it very clear, especially, there should be swift justice. Those are my thoughts on that. What do you think? Please leave a comment below about what you think about this case and situation. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and I will see you next time.